Hey guys, welcome back to the cabin. This week on Carl's Off the Grid, we are going to do a wild forage video and teach you a little bit about some of the most healthiest food on this earth. So stay tuned. Had to be careful on how I labeled this video. YouTube is now cutting off any monetization.
Yeah,
It's late. We're tired. To any videos that show like any butchering or shooting or harvesting of any wild game, which is kind of funny because I think that nowadays people have lost touch with the sense of reality, where their meat really comes from and where their food really comes from. For us, we have a huge garden. We grow all of our own food, so we know where our vegetables come from. For our meat, we don't particularly believe in buying a whole lot of store-bought meat. A lot of the meat that we eat is organic meat that either comes off of my brother's beef farm or any of the wild game that we harvest. And I think it's important for people to know where their food comes from. When you go to the store and you get a slab of ribs, that pig had to give up its life to give you those ribs. Or when you go in for a ribeye or a steak, there was a cow that came from. Or even your chicken nuggets at McDonald's. Those just don't appear on a tree somewhere. It had came from some animal somewhere. So I don't know what the hang up is, why people have a hard time with that. But it's the grim reality of life is, some things have to give up their life in order for other things to live. And so that's the way the circle of life goes. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a catch and cook, and I'll show you a favorite recipe that I have for duck. And hopefully we get a little bit of action tomorrow. It's late now. I think we rolled up here, about 11 o'clock or so?
Something like that.
And so we just got done untangling some decoys that we had that were tangled up. And we'll take you out onto the lake tomorrow morning, so stay tuned. And we'll show you how we cook and how we eat up here. Good morning, folks. We are all set up on the lake. You can see we got decoys set out on our left as well as our right. And the way we have it set up is we are leaving a gap in the middle. And when the ducks come in, here come two, get ready. Oh, they're heading out the other way. When the ducks come in, they will be looking to settle right in the gap there in between the two sets of decoys. This is a basic way that we've set up for years, and we've been very successful with it. So let's get on with the morning, and we'll see what the morning brings. I just wanted to interview Nick a little bit and give you some idea of the type of equipment that we're using and what we're all going for. Nick, primarily today, what would you say is the main species of duck that we're targeting?
Wood duck, maybe a couple mallard or so, but mainly wood ducks, I'd say. That's what we've seen around the lake.
All right, what kind of gun are you shooting?
It is a Winchester SX3 12 gauge. Shoots smooth. Yeah.
Little bit of recoil or no?
Not much at all. It's actually a really, really smooth gun. I'd suggest it to anybody for duck hunting.
All right, and I have a little bit older model gun than Nick has. I'm shooting a Browning Gold Hunter today in camouflage. Sorry for holding that up in front of your face.
Oh no.
But it's a semi-automatic as well, and we don't shoot real big loads for these woodies. It doesn't take much to knock them down. We're shooting primarily number 4 steel. you know, that's pretty much gonna take what it takes to get them down. And this lake is kind of a funny lake to hunt. In Wisconsin, we have a ton of mallards, but for whatever reason on this lake, we get swamped with woodies early in the year, and then as the season goes on, then it switches over to golden eyes, buffleheads, mergansers, unfortunately, and a couple of diver ducks. So yeah, it's kind of a different lake. So for us, it's a trophy when you get a mallard. We normally don't see them, but that's pretty much our setup. I showed you the decoys. We like to shoot in like a horseshoe shape. We leave an open gap towards the center, and usually those ducks come down and want to land right in the center of the horseshoe, and then it's easy pickings for us. And today we did not bring the boat out, we did not bring the blind out. We are simply shore hunting. Early season like this, we have so much leaf cover that I don't even bring the boat out. It's a lot more hassle than what it's worth. So we're just going to sit on the bank and get some shooting. Earlier in the day, we already had a few flocks of wood ducks come through, but it's a little too dark to shoot them. And so now that the sun has crested, we are going to get into some good action here. It looks like clouds are rolling in. Hopefully the clouds stick around, because usually my experience has been on bright blue sunny days we don't do very well here. So all right, so let's harvest a couple of these birds, and then we'll show you how to prepare them and how to enjoy them, and we'll cook them probably outside on an open fire, I'm thinking. So wood ducks are really good eating birds, so let's keep our fingers crossed. I feel pretty confident we'll at least get one or two, and Lord willing, maybe we get a few more than that. So all right, let's get over to the hunt. All right, Nick, we got a flock of ducks coming in on the left here. You take the ones to the left, I'll take the ones to the right. Don't move. Good shot.
They're woodies, right?
Yeah, we got nice drake.
Ooh. Almost looks like a hen.
Yeah. And a nice hen.
Nice.
All right, there's birds flying like crazy. Let's get back down here.
Oh, there's one coming in.
Sweet. No jewelry, but we got a double, 2 drakes.
Oh yeah.
One for me, one for Nick. All right, it looks like we've got some good eats for this evening. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna at least prepare a bird or two on the grill, and these are gonna be really good eating. I'll bring these up there and we'll show you what they look like up close. They're probably, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful ducks that are on the face of the earth. So all right, I'll get up this bank and I'll go ahead and show you guys what they look like. All right folks, here's 4 of the birds that we got. You can see they've got a real pretty copper color through their neck, and then their heads they've got green, and then there's some purple, and I hope this video picks up the beauty of them. Here's a hen on the side, and obviously that one is a little bit more camouflage, not so many flashy colors. Perfect for, you know, when she's laying eggs and stuff. And then Nick shot this monster here. This is a really good mature drake that we have, and yeah, he's got him with 2 bullet holes right through the head. So the BBs did their job, but sorry for the close-up there or whatever. I hope that the camera works okay, but when you're hunting, I don't have a tripod or anything like that with me. We've just got what we have. So yeah, so we at least have 4 that are going to be making some good meals for us. And let's get back to hunting, and we'll see if we come upon any more birds.
All right, folks, so we ended our hunt. We ended up getting 4 birds.
Yep. 4 wood ducks. Nick got the biggest drake, and then I got a drake, and he got a regular drake as well. And then we ended up with a hen. So I think we had a good day.
Yeah, pretty dang good.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to clean these up, and then we'll show you the best duck recipe that we like doing when you get fresh wild game like this. So I am going to show you how we are going to prepare this roast duck. I have, as you can see on the aluminum foil here, we've got 1 breast from the wood duck. And simply what I'm going to do is I am going to hit it with my favorite Montreal sauce, just real lightly, or I should say Montreal seasoning. This is going to sound weird to have Montreal on duck, but you got to try it. It is good. And then another thing that I like to do, which is a little bit different, is we are going to lightly glaze this duck with a little bit of honey, if I can get the honey to come out. And I'm going to do it on both sides. Okay, and now that we have got the honey on it, have the Montreal on it, we are going to enwrap it in, if that's a word, enwrap it. We're going to wrap it in bacon. Now, the reason why I'm wrapping it in bacon, I'm sure many of you know this, is duck in wild game naturally is very dry because there's not much fat on it. So the bacon will help keep the meat moist. And then what we are going to do is we are going to roll this up inside of its own little aluminum foil package. And once it is sealed up, we are going to place this package on the grill. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make 4 more of these, and we'll let them cook until I think I usually do it about 7 minutes aside. You don't want to overcook it. Have a hot fire, do her 7 minutes aside, and you should be just fine. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and make the rest of these, and we'll see what happens. So that's 1 down, and we'll do, I think maybe another 3. I've got the 4 duck breasts. We're just simply going to put them on the grill, and I will set my timer for about 7 minutes aside. And you can tell there's not much of a fire here. We let it get down to like coals like we talked about earlier, and you just want those coals to tickle this. Now that the wind kicks in, of course, it's going to start a fire, but I'll raise this up a little bit because we don't want that to cook too fast. We want it to cook real slow on a hot fire, and let that bacon do its magic. Just be careful when you flip this that you don't poke a hole in this tin foil. I can see the juices kind of oozing out right now. You want to be real careful that you do not poke a hole in there. If you do, you're going to lose all that bacon grease and all that goodness. So, all right, we'll give her another 7 minutes and we'll see how it cooks. All right, so it's been our 7 minutes aside. I'm going to set this down on the ground here and open this up, and I will check it to make sure it's done. If I don't burn my fingers to heck first. Oh, that's hot. Hot, hot, hot. And you can already see how it's starting to look caramelized inside. And oh, this looks good. Let me get that out of the way. Here's our caramelized duck breast. And I'll go ahead and I'll slice it into a couple pieces. And see how it's cooked all the way through? I don't know if that's gonna come through on the camera, but you can see that's all the way through and it's bacon wrapped. Oh my gosh, this is just incredible. Nick, come here, you gotta try a piece. Here we go. I'll put the camera on you.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
not bad, hey?
That's pretty damn good.
All right, you know, normally when it comes to, hang on a second, I'm going to get a better angle on this camera. Normally when it comes to cooking wild game, I mean, it's a real crapshoot. I hear a lot of people say, oh, it tastes gamey and I don't want to have any of that to eat. And with ducks, I hear people say, oh, it tastes kind of livery. And I'm thinking, what? I've never tasted any of my ducks taste like liver or anything like that. Instead, it tastes kind of like a steak wrapped more so with bacon on it, and it is just to die for. And you know, think about it. This, you know, was flying around a couple hours ago. It doesn't get much fresher than that. This animal lived a good, clean life and has no hormones in it or anything like that, like a farm-raised bird might have. And this is pure 100% natural, good food, and it doesn't get any better tasting than this. I'd like to encourage you, if you haven't experienced anything like this before, or if you're one of those, you know, people that's a little bit, you know, on a you know, I don't know the right words to say, but if you're not sure if this is it for you, you got to at least try it once. This is absolutely fabulous. How was your meat? Was it dry or anything?
Oh no, it was juicy, it was tender, it was good.
Yeah, and it tastes pretty much, to me, it tasted like a steak almost.
Mm-hmm.
So this is great. We've got the other three are still on the fire, so we're going to quick take those off and we're going to enjoy the rest of this. And yeah, have a great afternoon with it. And this is a good appetizer to hold us over till supper time. So let's go ahead and take the rest of that meat off the grill. I don't mean to be singing myself praises or be a little conceited or anything like that, but I just wanted to share this video with you because my whole life I have loved duck hunting, but I've never really craved the taste of duck or been, you know, really knocked out of the ballpark as far as the taste of the duck goes. And this recipe is very simple, but this meat will taste like no other duck that you've ever had before. It is phenomenal. You cook it 7 minutes on each side. It turns out beautiful. Keep your heat low. You don't want to dry it out. And check out this presentation. Nick is a little bit of a finicky eater at times, and he absolutely loves it. So here we go. Take a look at this. So you can see when we slide the pieces apart, it's an even color all the way through. It's absolutely juicy, and it's incredible. I'm going to quit talking and let Nick eat this plate, but I just wanted to share this again with you. And I can't suggest enough, if you never loved or never liked duck even, try this recipe. You won't regret it.